Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Record run on D Street continued for the second consecutive session yesterday with the Nifty clocking in 20,864 mark for the very first time, and now it has its eyes set on 21,000. Will investors get to rejoice newer highs for the third day in a row? We will tell you all of it, but first up the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Bullish sentiment improves further on the Dalal Street. Foreign investors punch in huge buy trades, mainly on Nifty stocks, adding fuel to fire. Traders expect Nifty to hit 21,000 fairly soon. There is a crisis of plenty on the Dalal Street as an immense ocean of liquidity hits stocks of all shapes and sizes. Traders are advised caution on the long side as markets look overstretched on the long side. Very good morning to all our viewers and good morning to you, Shail, as well. We are seeing the mother of all bull markets like you were just pointing out. The Nifty has continued on its record-breaking run for the sixth day in a row. Since November 24th, the Nifty has gained nearly 1,100 points. And the last instance of the index really gaining 7 days, 6 days in a row was back in the month of September. And we are actually looking at this longest winning streak in 3 months now. Where do you see the Nifty headed?
Good morning, Sakshi. And without any planning, you and I have dressed up for the market. You are taking care of the bears and I'm taking care of the bulls. Green and red for you, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, it's the bulls who get aggravated the most when they see red. So get ready. I have been saying this repeatedly over the last 15 days that this is a massive bull market unfolding in front of us. And Sakshi, a lot of things are now sort of coming to bear. One of them, of course, foreign institutional investors. They punched in orders worth 5,224 crore rupees, mainly on index heavyweights like HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. I'll tell about them later. But it's a given. In the first or 15 minutes, you will see 21,000 on the Nifty. And that will be the 7th continuous day of this fabulous rally on the Dalal Street. That's mainly because of the electoral success of the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's the Modi premium that's getting reflected on the Dalal Street. And Sakshi, 2 points I'd like to make. The Bank Nifty, which was a laggard until then, has surged 5.5 past 5 trading sessions, making it the best performing large index across the world. Nifty is up 4% in the past 5 trading sessions, making it the second best performing index globally for the past 1 week. So both these encomiums belong to us. Advanced decline ratios, how deliveries are panning out are phenomenal. This is no longer a trading market, Sakshi. It's buy and hold. Let's see how 21,000 works up. But there's some data that I'd like to show you, especially on HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. Not only are they the main constituents of the Bank Nifty, they are also very strong contributors to the Nifty as well. Yesterday, HDFC Bank saw a delivery statistic of 58% on double the volume. The average is 60% over the last 1 month, but 58% delivery was at 2 crore 61 lakh shares. ICICI Bank has 48% delivery. You have very strong statistics coming in for State Bank of India on very high volumes. So it basically shows how people are now betting on the long side on index heavyweights. So as far as the option chain is concerned, 20,800 to 20,700 Sakshi is now a very, very strong support for the Nifty. All support levels are rising. If you have been listening to our commentary, 20,300, 400, 500. Now the support is up at 20,800 and 20,700. 21,000 is emerging as a resistance. If you see a lot of call writing happening there, it basically means this is coming. And the fact that there has been a very, very high degree of short covering in ITM Nifty weekly calls, Sakshi, that shows that bulls are in complete command and bears are running helter and skelter on Dalal Street. Tighten your seat belts. Good times are coming. This is Amrit Kal for equity markets.
Absolutely. On the Nifty Bank, like you pointed out, the surge continued and the index closed above 47,000 mark for the very first time yesterday. We've seen the Nifty Bank index rising 8% over the last month. And of course, this 5% jump has come in only in the last few trading sessions, like you pointed out. The big heavyweights, HDFC, ICICI and SBI, like you pointed out, have been, finding a lot of takers, especially from the foreign institutional investors as well. With the heaviest cylinder over the biggest cylinder of the markets really now working, 21,000 definitely is looking positive in just a few trading sessions, right?
Absolutely, Sakshi, and I think it's the Bank Nifty which should get this encomium. You see, till 5 days ago, it was quiet, 4% higher, nothing to do, right? And then suddenly this burst of activity has come in, and now Nifty Bank 5.6% up over the 5 sessions is the world's best performing large index. Today is of course the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty, and believe me, Sakshi, if you look at the ITM calls within Bank Nifty, they've killed the bears, they've buried them. It's so bad. It's bulls, bulls, bulls. It's like that Spanish bull run that you see on the streets of Madrid. That's what is happening on Dalal Street. Huge, huge, huge buying on on Bank Nifty ITM calls, and of course a very, very strong support coming in now at 47,000. It's a record high, and fresh momentum even from these levels is seen. I'm hoping that you will have a sideways trend today because it's the weekly expiry for the Bank Nifty, but I'm not very, very how should I say, the probability of it being a flat day after 7 days of rally is there, but these are times when the market is irrational, and irrational for good, Sakshi.
Absolutely. From the F&O space then, Shail, any particular stocks that are on your watch list?
Yes, Sakshi, I would look at State Bank of India. This is one of those shares where you have seen intense amount of hectic buying activity. I'll just point out two data. You see the stock at 608.25 closed yesterday. Very, very high volume was seen. Somewhere like 3 crore 64 lakh shares were traded, of which 40% converted to delivery. On average, in a month, on a daily basis, just 1.4 crore shares are traded. So trading activity is more than double, and of that, delivery statistics are very high. If you see how the F&O picture is for State Bank of India, we'll notice that the open interest here was actually still on a weekly basis down, which means it's short covering. So that's the fear in the market of bears कि भाई पैसे यहाँ से जो हमने शॉर्ट किया था निकाल लो, यहाँ पर आफत आने वाली है, and that आफत is on the upside. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Go for stocks in the Nifty which have short covering, because the momentum there will be much higher than higher open interest where you are seeing development. SBI, three good things: tailwind of the banking sector, India's largest public sector bank, phenomenal earnings, and the all-time high on State Bank of India is, I think, 629. Remember, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank are already at all-time high. This is the catch-up trade for SBI.
Fair enough. Let's also look at how the global cues are shaping up. The Wall Street finished mixed on Tuesday after fresh employment data bolstered bets that US Fed Reserve could cut interest rates as soon as March. Now, US job openings fell to the lowest level since March of 2021 as the labor market cools off. The S&P 500 you saw declining by 0.06% to end the session at 4567.18 points. The Nasdaq gained about 0.3% in trade, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average also was just about 0.2% down in trade as well. Markets across the Asia Pacific staged a rebound in the midweek trading action, followed by the broad sell-off that we saw in the previous two trading sessions. The Nikkei is now up in trade, and that is leading the entire Asian markets pack 1.7% higher, Kospi up 0.5%, Hang Seng 0.7%, and the Shanghai is also up by 0.08% as well. The Gift Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, is indicating that you could see 21,038 coming in. It's up by 38.5 points or a 0.18% at this point in time as well. And of course, it's the foreign institutional investors who've been on a buying spree supporting the Indian markets flow. They bought about 5,223 odd crore rupees into the Indian stock markets yesterday. The domestic institutional investors, however, did some profit booking. In yesterday's trading action, we did see about 1399 crore rupees worth of stocks being profit booked by the DIIs as well. But for the FIIs, it's been the 8th straight session when the markets have been seeing buying action coming in from the FIIs as well. All right, so let's welcome our guest on the show now. Vineet Bolinshkar is with us, Head of Research at Ventura Securities. Very good morning to you, Vineet, and great to have you with us. What a week to welcome you in. We've been seeing record highs on the Nifty all through, and the Gift Nifty indicates 21,000 coming in even today. How are you looking at the markets?
So, we thought 21,000 would be a possibility in December. It's already achieved in the beginning of December. So, and the short covering is still not done with. So we believe that stocks like HDFC Bank, SBI, both these are India's couple of largest banks from the PSU and the private space. Both have got phenomenal ROEs, and both have underperformed the market significantly over the past 6 months. So I think there's a very nice catch-up trade happening out here, and especially in SBI, given the fact that its subsidiaries are also performing well, and they have no challenges on capital adequacy because they have significant excess SLR investments, which can be plowed back into interest-earning loans. So we believe that SBI at 0.9 times book, and with a expectation of 50% upside from here, and HDFC Bank comparatively offer very, very good opportunities for investors to participate in this the hedge fund led India investment that the FIIs are doing. We should remember that FIIs did their highest ever investment in November, on a monthly basis. So if you were wondering where the FIs are gone, well, they're back in action and they're back with the bag. So we believe that this hedge fund buying activity will be followed through in the FY24 with some buying from long-term funds. And the India money move has just started. So it's going to be a decade-long bubble build-up, and after the elections, we are going to see the momentum catch up. So that's my take for the market. It is possible that the markets are extended. Some of the oscillators are showing, technical oscillators are showing oversold readings, but they've been oversold for a very long time, and hence there could be a sharp dip in the market today, followed with renewed buying at lower levels because money is just waiting on the sidelines looking for the perfect opportunity.
Namaste Vinitji, and what a pleasure to host you on Market today in what is probably the best exhibition of Modi premium on Dalal Street. You like food as much as I do, and this is an alchemy of a lot of things coming together. Now tell us, what do we do with small caps and mid caps? Forget them for a while. Is this a rally that is led only and only by blue chips? And it's about time. They were just under-owned undervalued and underappreciated over the last 6 months?
So, Shail, I want to answer your question slightly differently and give you a slightly extended answer. So, if you'll allow me, if you see, India's GDP over a period of time is only going to extend its yearly delta, you know. So, assuming that somewhere 2, 3 years down the line, we are adding 1 trillion of GDP every year, that much market cap will easily be created. And this market cap is not going to go only into the large cap, but it's going to be participate in the mid caps and the small caps as well. Because this kind of GDP growth is going to be supported by a lot of uh, mid caps as well as small caps. So definitely yes, while the mid cap and the small cap index are overextended, their valuations have moved premium to Nifty. We believe that the rotation will continue, and initially the large caps will perform as we just stated, but there are certain sectors which will continue to participate. So I believe that travel and leisure, that is hotels, and hotel related stocks. Paper, which is a very, very under owned sector, that looks good because it's part of the consumption story and packaging, which is very, very low rated. And the electrical segment, because India and the world is changing energy baskets very fast. So if you want to electrify everything, you need the electrical infrastructure in place. And these three trends are going to dominate going ahead. So large cap buying, electrical and power stocks and power utilities, leisure and hotels, given the fact that the Ayodhya temple is on the anvil and there is going to be a sea of people coming to welcome the third pole of international politics. So I believe that these three trends, and one of the underpriced trends of paper stocks looks very good for uh, mid cap and small cap buying.
Right. Vineet, you've mentioned HDFC Bank and State Bank of India as your primary blue chip picks. Now, please give us very strong, fundamentally good ideas in the paper space, in the hotel space, and in the power space, which you would bet on as far as a portfolio picking is concerned, despite the fact that we are at a record high. What looks good in this space?
So I think if you look at the Adani stocks, so we have Adani Green, Adani Enterprises, and Adani Eden Energy Solutions, and Adani Power. So these are four stocks from the Adani space which are very heavyweight on electrical and power consumption. Look at Power Grid. In spite of its run up, it is still available at 7 to 8% dividend yield. And it has been my observation in this bull market that stocks move from very high dividend yields to around 5%, and then they crawl up to about 3% dividend yield. So that is the kind of earnings growth that happens. We have seen it happen in Power Finance Corporation, we have seen it in REC, and we have seen it in Coal India. And I see no reason why Power Grid should not be an exception. So these are some of the stocks that I've spoken to you about. NTPC, is going to be the bellwether of India's power capacity addition. And a lot of people do not know that NTPC has signed contracts with Singapore and with UK to supply green hydrogen. So NTPC is not only going to become the the focal point of India's power consumption, power generation, but it's also going to be a new energy contributor to the global markets also. So we expect to see a significant ramp up in NTPC going on gradually. And there has been a study in China that without thermal capacity, you cannot manage your base load. So given all these facts, I think that thermal capacities will come into the fold, and other stocks like JSW Energy will also participate. So I've given you a host of stocks that look good out here. In the paper stocks, you can look at your usual devils, JK Paper, and the others that we've spoken about. Uh, and so I've spoken to you about these two stocks sectors, which I think, and in the hotel space, obviously Indian hotels is our top pick.
All right, Vinny, since you talked about the Adani Group stocks, we are seeing a whole host of brokerage houses reports also. And of course, yesterday was a day when the Adani stocks really hogged the limelight. 2 days in a row, we've seen stunning rally coming in on a lot of stocks right now. Citi has now come out with a buy call on Adani Ports. Its target has raised to 1,213 odd crore rupees. What it expects is that despite the rally, there is still ample scope for valuations to re-rate as projects, new projects are close to commissioning. It is also believing that the company is executing well and growing its dominance in India's ports and logistics space as well. Do you really believe that the time is ripe for a fresh re-rating on Adani Group stocks from here, or is a caution likely to be in place now for all the investors because of the sharp run-up that we have already seen?
So, we have to look at, specifically talking of Adani ports, we have to understand that, there's a lot of geopolitics going on. And after the Haifa port acquisition, Adani is now making its foray into the Malacca Strait. In fact, four countries is where Adani ports will be investing apart from Sri Lanka. So these ports these areas are Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia in that region. And and Adani Ports is very well entrenched into India's political policy to contain China, and this is giving sleepless nights to the CCP. So, given the interesting proposition that Adani Ports gets, and being part of India's China containment policy, I think it gets a lot of thumbs up from various angles, right? And so we believe that Adani Ports is really going to do well. Second thing, we have to understand is that there have been news reports saying that the US has given a clean chit to the Adani Group. So what this essentially tells us is that the bond money which Adani needs being an infrastructure company will also flow into these stocks, and hence the liquidity issue that the group faces from the point of view of galloping at its previous pace that it has been going are veritably cleared. So what happens is Adani is back into the fourth because two things are there. One is that it is so critical to India's overall geopolitical structure, and second is the fact that it has got avenues to invest in American deep markets and possibly then go into the Japanese bond market to get long term funding at cheap rates of interest given its extensive focus on infrastructure.
Right. Vineet is on a roll today, giving us fabulous advice when it comes to picking up mid caps and large caps. But the markets are open, Sakshi. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, close to a century in opening quotes. 20,951, ladies and gentlemen, 96 points higher as far as the index is concerned. Let me just see what Reliance is doing. At the moment, you have Reliance. Just a moment, please.
That's 24.40.
Sakshi, why don't you look at what
Reliance
and HDFC Bank are
is
doing?
at 24.40 right now. We are seeing a slight uptick coming in from yesterday's trading action, 0.09% higher in trade. As far as the gainers are concerned, again, you have the Adani Group stocks, Adani Enterprises now at 3101, Adani Ports at 1100, Power 229, NTPC at 288, BPCL at 487, SBI at 615, ICICI Bank at 1019. You also have M&M at 1700 odd levels as well. The metal index is shining brighter. It's again up in trade right now. Again, from the Nifty 500 basket, you have the Adani Group stocks and, of course, ACC. Now it's picking up pace. I think it's right now at 2194 odd levels as well. Let's look at what Nifty Bank is doing at this point in time. 47,012 for the Nifty Bank right now. Slight upticks coming in. It's flattish to a positive uptick that you can see right now. Maruti Suzuki is now ticking higher at 10,710 at this point in time. Shail, what are you watching?
Yes, Sakshi, I'm just watching and watching Nifty alone, 20,970 for you. Remember, we had suggested the 20,800 call when markets were in the FAG session late evening yesterday. We'll take a look at it when the market open. But at the moment, it's already a century on the index, 20,970. Let's see when it crosses 21,000. That seems to be an inevitability. Now, State Bank of India, this is something Vineet also preferred. 1.1% higher, 615. 1.2% gain on HDFC Bank, 1642. Let's look at Reliance. Reliance is 2445, up a third of a percent. Axis Bank is flat. ICICI Bank is also flat. Remember, today is the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. And Sakshi, we also need to look at paint companies. That's the reason that the crude oil prices are now at July lows, which basically means Asian Paints, Berger Paints, Shalimar Paints would be big winners. 1.2% higher on Asian Paints, 3266. Let's pay attention to what's happening in the FNO space beyond the index heavyweights. You see a lot of traction which is coming on the power sector. Okay, let's start with BPCL, 2.7% higher, 485. Hindustan Petroleum, 387, 1.5% higher. We are avoiding index heavyweights here, but it's very hard. IDFC First Bank, 1.5% higher, 9060. The focus is clearly on index heavyweights. Sakshi pointed out Adani Ports, 1080, 6.6% higher. Adani Enterprises, 5% higher, 3107. There is no let up in this huge upside that we are seeing in the market. Let's shift focus to NSE 500 and then we'll again touch base with Vineet. Okay, there is no avoiding is Adani Green 14% higher, Adani Total 10% higher, Adani Energy Solutions 9% higher, Adani Ports 6% higher, Adani Enterprises 6% higher. The first 5 stocks in the NSE 500 are from the Adani stable. Huge price and volume action seen in the first minute of trade. What else is moving? CESE 119, 1.45%. Power Grid flat, 222.95. A fairly strong move coming in on Raymond, 2% higher, 16.18. Let's see how the markets are shaping as well. Sakshi, what are you watching now?
Well, a lot of other stocks when we talk about, Grasim Industries, so the cement stocks are likely to tick higher even in today's trading action, Shell. So you do have Ambuja Cements, that's again up in trade today. It's now at 515, so ticking higher from yesterday's move again. Ultratech Cement, that's likely to be in focus again today as the large cap. ACC, that's going to be in focus again. So this one is at 2200 now. Again, this stock is been moving up from last 2-3 trading sessions, and then it's now again up right now. All right, so let's see whether we have Brijesh L with us. He's our other guest on the show. We will try and connect to him. But Vineet, on the cement pack, do you have a view with the kind of move that we've been seeing, especially on Ambuja Cements, where Jeffries also has a buy call and a 540 kind of a target right now amidst the announcement of the completion of acquisition of a major stake in Sanghi Industries?
So, Sanghi is looking to double capacities and, they can possibly 4 times their capacities because they have the ready infrastructure. Adani, Ambuja, if we speak about, has got plans in place to, extend capacity significantly by 25-26. So, all these are timelines which are coming very gradually upon us. And the re-rating has started because Adani has proven that after the takeover of Ambuja, they have been able to, improve cost efficiency significantly. And, with the mandate that the Modi government has got in this sort of semi-final before the Lok Sabha elections, you know, clearly tells you 2-3 things is that the policies of the Modi government ring a very good bell with the populace at large, and hence infra focus is going to be getting an accelerated attention from this government. So we are going to see cement and steel demand continue to boom. and that rings very good bells for Ambuja given its impending capacity additions over the next couple of years.
Yeah, a point I'd like to make, Sakshi. I have 75 PSU stocks on my list. Out of 75, 68 are in the green in pre-open. The remaining 5 plus 2, 7 are not moving. In fact, they are at 0%. So there are no losers in the PSU back. And this is as good a time as any to welcome Mr. Brijesh Ail, Head Technical and Derivatives Research at IDBI Capital. Good morning, Brijesh. What a lovely day to have you. Nifty settled 95 points higher at 20,950. The bears are missing very badly on Dalal Street. What are the one or two stocks that you're watching technically on the charts? I don't think so. Brijesh is lined up. Acha. Okay. We'll get back to him in a while. Let me just mark some stocks that have settled fairly strongly in the pre-open trade. Within the defense space, the top gainer is BEML, 0.8% higher, 24.31 within the PSU pack. Let's look at what high beta is doing, Sakshi. And it's Angel One, 1.8% higher, 29.90. We are, remember, not discussing valuations any longer. This is a roaring trading as well as technically overextended bull market. Hindustan Zinc, 1.2% higher, 329. Ambuja Cement, we've discussed. What else is moving? Paytm, 0.6% higher, 845. You have Poonawalla FinCap, 414, 0.5% higher. And you have Indian Hotels, 0.5% higher, 436.95. What's moving within the latest space? Okay, Irida is 0.7% higher, 63.50. Sakshi, anything that catches your interest?
A lot of stocks again, Michelle, from the Nifty 500 basket, like Engineers India, that's up by over 1% again. This stock is ticking higher once again. BEML, that's up by 1.4% again. Even from the travel and tourism space, you know, that stock, those stocks are again coming back into action. Indigo, that's at 28.77 at 1.5% higher in trade as well. And of course, all the metals pack, they're shining the brightest again in the pre-opening trade today after in a second day in a row. So you do have stocks like Hindustan Zinc, Ratnamani Metals, SAIL, Jindal Stainless, Tata Steel, Welspun Corp, all of them really moving up. But on the contrary, you know, what is really taking a beating today is the auto stocks, Shell. You know, Eicher Motors, Bajaj Auto, Hero Moto, Maruti Suzuki, they're all down in trade, and perhaps the case in point is CLSA's report, which is now cautioned on the and has downgraded many of these stocks. So CLSA has maintained a sell rating on TVS, target price 1378. Hero Moto, they have downgraded to underperform, but raised the target price to 4127. Bajaj Auto, they've downgraded, 6382 is their target price. Eicher Motors downgraded to underperform. Let's get Vineet's view on the auto stocks. Vineet, why the sudden caution coming in on the auto majors? We were thinking that finally the auto space is coming out of the woods.
So, we were feeling that, certain stocks like Bajaj Auto, whatever modeling we had done was looking overextended. But we do not share the same views as far as Maruti and Hero Honda and TVS is concerned. We think that there is going to be significant growth coming there. And despite TVS's apparently expensive valuations, I think they've got substantial meat and growth, in that mid CC segment where the margins are very very good. So we believe that these stocks will continue to do well. Eicher Motors has hit a target of about 4,300. We are initiated coverage at about 3,100. So that is telling you that the demand is now catching up with the two wheelers. The two wheelers had an extensive bearish cycle vis-a-vis PVs, and now that is also catching up. So while this report is giving you sell signals, I think, in my opinion, there is an opportunity to buy on the downside.
Okay. Vineet, how are you analyzing this OMC space? BPCL, HPCL, IOC, multi-week rallies now in front of us. and there seems to be no let up. Crude, of course, at a 6-month low.
Yeah, so what happens is with the volatility going out of the crude basket, you know, the OMCs are able to price their products better, get their, maintain their spreads. And that is a very bullish environment for the OMCs. Apart from this, you have to understand that today, IOC launched a hydrogen bus, which emits only water. So now that kind of headline tells you that
Sure.
the entire OMC basket is also now becoming a clean energy fuel company. So we are going to see re-rating happening on these stocks too.
Sure. Let's welcome our other guest. Brijesh Ale is with us, Head Technical Derivatives at IDBI Capital. Brijesh, good morning. Tell us your two stocks that you're looking at on a day when the markets are again looking at newer highs.
Yeah, morning, Sakshi. So I think the view is definitely positive, but then today being a Bank Nifty weekly expiry, will be a little bit cautious. On a stock specific note, I think there are two stocks. One is the Blue Star at 1024 level. I think this is again a momentum bet. I think another 5-6% kind of a momentum will be there. And another one is the Sonacom. So this is again turning from the lower bottom at the 578. So I think this would be two bet I would take in the pre-market and would ride it on the upside.
Okay, we have two spaces being reflected which are non-FNO. Sona, Comstar, of course, a very well-known auto ancillary, and Blue Star, one of the finest names when it comes to commercial air conditioning. Brijesh, a very warm welcome. Within the Nifty space, individual stocks, which are the ones that you prefer on the long side? A quick answer, please. We are already at 9:14.
I think from that, the McDowell is one which is showing the momentum. McDowell and then the HFC Bank, this is the two space I think that will do something good during the day. So we'll keep a watch on it. McDowell and HFC Bank should be the two stocks kept in the watch list.
Okay, so this is a second vote of confidence coming on HDFC Bank. Of course, Vineet in his opening commentary mentioned a great deal of activity happening on HDFC Bank, and all signs are there. Higher delivery, higher price, and of course an underperformance even related to the Nifty. Markets are open, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 71-point gap up, 20,926 on the Nifty. Nifty Bank 150 points higher, 47,160. Remember, today is the weekly expiry of the index. A green tick on the IT index and a green tick on NSE 500. Let's focus on the index heavyweights first. What is sticking in the green? HDFC Bank 0.5% higher, 1631. Where is Reliance? Reliance at the moment is trading at 2443, 0.3% higher. How about Infosys? Flat 1455. How about other banks? Axis Bank is the top gainer in index heavyweights. Fresh record high 1140, 0.7% higher. What about ICICI Bank? Flat 1013. The Nifty Bank, ladies and gentlemen, is gaining momentum. Now 200 points higher, 47,213. Remember, they are trying to kill the bears today. It's the weekly expiry for the Bank Nifty. Intense amount of short covering happening here. Let's shift focus to beyond the index heavyweights within the Nifty. Okay, Adani Enterprises 3% higher, Adani Ports 3% higher, 1047. Asian Paints taking it away 1.5% higher, 3275. What else is moving? We have BPCL and UPL in the green. Okay, FNO minus index heavyweights. Tata Chemicals 2.5% higher, 1008. Aditya Birla Fashion Retail 245, 1.9% higher. PNB and Z Entertainment, the two high beta stocks, 1% higher. Indigo 2876, 1.4% higher. Let's shift focus to NSE 500 and then we'll go to Brijesh immediately. My God, top gainers Adani Green 15% higher, 1560. Adani Total Gas 993, 13% higher. Adani Enterprises, Adani Power and Adani Energy Solutions up 3 and 9% respectively. Adani Ports 4.5% higher, 1060. JK Paper, this is something that Vineet had mentioned, 2.5% higher, 403. and Hindustan Zinc 1.9% higher, 331. The Nifty 20,940, 84 points higher. Nifty Bank 47,224, 208 points higher. The rally on its 7th day. Brijesh, first to you. What will you do on any Adani stock, if at all, and what else looks good to you on the charts today? I'm just requesting you to be precise. There's a lot happening in the markets.
Yeah, so basically, Adani, I would do some profit booking at this counter because I don't believe there would be any risk reward ratio favorable. So mainly the profit booking is what I would advise for the traders community. Positional, I think we can hold on the position, but traders should look for the profit booking. And specifically, if any stock specific, I think Tata Chemical is something which has come on the screen. Tata Chemical can be one bet at the current price. I think this momentum should last for another 50, 60 points on the higher side. So Tata Chemical would be the first call for the day.
Okay, Brijesh, how would you look at the oil and gas space? A lot of stocks are buzzing again. BPCL, ONGC, HPCL, they're all buzzing in trade. Would you be a buyer at this stage in any of the oil and gas stocks?
No, as in from the sector point of view, we are having a profit booking kind of a view on the OMCs. So basically, I would not take a fresh entry at this point, sir.
Sure. Brijesh, Asian Paints, look at that stock. It's ticking higher, 32.84 right now, 2% higher for this one. What is the next target that you would advise here?
Somewhere close to 33.30, 33.50 should be the next level of upside. This momentum should rally. So that is again the highest target for the counter.
Okay. Right.
Let's the index at the moment, Sakshi, and I'd like to point out the 20,800 call again. Remember, we had caught it at about 150 or 120. I think it was 120. This is the December 7th expiry, 20,800 call on the Nifty, now at 172 in front of me. Again, it's a gap up. Let's see what happens. Brijesh, would you want to dip into options at any point of time within the Bank Nifty and the Nifty? Anything that looks interesting to you on the long side within options?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So basically, this 4,700 call strike price, which is somewhere 250 levels. I think this range of 250 to 230, that is a band. I think we should be having a long position currently at this point. This looks good on chart. Even the OI data and everything looks strong. So 47,000 call option at 250. I would like to take the buy call. And in case of 10, 15 point decline, I would add more on the lower side.
Okay. Let's pay a little attention to the broader markets. We are at 920. I want to see what the advanced decline ratio is. Well, it's firmly in the part of bulls. 1,300 shares on the National Stock Exchange are in the green. 520 are in the red. Okay, out of the 19 indices that we track, 18 are in the green. It's the Nifty Auto Index which is flat. It will also turn green, don't worry. Which is the top gaining index. The Nifty Energy Space, 2% higher, 31,940 in front of you as far as the index is concerned. What's the advanced decline ratio in NSE 500? 350 versus 150. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Modi premium that is getting reflected on markets. We are talking about price and volume action. We have to mark Adani stocks no matter how difficult it is to take a trade, but they're running away. Adani ports 5% higher, 1,069. We have Adani Wilmar 6% higher, 404. Ambuja Cement 2% higher, 519, and of course ACC a percent higher, 2201. Adani Green is 17% higher, and Adani Energy Solutions 12% higher. Adani Total Gas 15% higher. Vineet, you must be laughing your head off given your very strong call on the Adani Group. What now?
I believe that this trend will continue. It's primarily given the fact, as we stated, that I'd like to point out one interesting theory of mine. Whenever you have a external event which is not fundamental to a company that occurs, for example, the Hindenburg, we saw the stocks retrace very, very sharply, right? There was a huge dip, and suddenly that impact, the pressure of that factor has been dispersed. So I believe that all things remaining constant, we are going to see a bounce back going back up to those three or in levels, and that is why we believe that Adani Green should be anywhere 2000 plus. Adani Enterprises 3300 to 3500 is where it should trade, and if you remember Adani Gas, it was about 1200 odd levels. So all these stocks should move back to those levels, just negating the impact of the Hindenburg story.
Okay. Brijesh, let's look at the power stocks. I remember Vineet was talking about NTPC. Which is your top favorite stock from the energy basket? Coal India, NTPC, Power Grid, CESC, they're all up in trade. India Grid is in focus. It's launched 530 crores QIP. Any particular stock that you will go by on the charts?
Yeah. I'm pretty confident, sure on this Power Grid and NTPC. These are the two picks which has given a positional buy in yesterday's setup. So I think that momentum will rally in the Power Grid. 235 is the trading bet for today's trading session. I think that momentum should be seen. And the next come is the NTPC. It is slow moving, but then the view for the NTPC is also positive, and somewhere close to 300, 305 should be the intraday bet. So both positive bias, Power Grid and NTPC.
Okay, a lot of these stocks are also hitting their all-time high levels as well. CESC at all-time high level, 117. Power Grid, 224 currently. NTPC, 285 currently. We're also looking at some other stocks that are at record highs like NHPC, 59.30 up at record highs levels. REC, Power Finance companies are also in focus. PFC, REC, both are at record highs. The record run for them continues. We also have Apollo Tyres at 462. Wellcop, which is at 567, and CSB Bank, that's now at 406. These are all the stocks that are at all-time high levels as well. Tire stocks, Brijesh, they have been in momentum again. Apollo Tyres at record high. What would you say on this stock?
Sakshi, I think this momentum will continue. Risk, like making, we won't buy a fresh trade, but we'll ride this momentum. 480, 490 is the trading bet. I think somebody's having a position should hold towards those points. The revised stop loss would be only when if 440 level is broken, then that momentum may be lost. But bias is positive. 480, 485 should be the higher side trigger for the Apollo tires.
Okay, Sakshi, I think we need to pause, take a breath. 9:24. It already seems that it's such a long day. There's so much ticking, it's unbelievable. You know, it's across the board. I'd like to mark Tata Chemicals. This is something that Brijesh had pointed out in trade just in the initial parts of it. Days high and a very, very strong move coming from the 200 DMA, which basically means it has legs. 1023 in front of me, and already 9 lakh shares have been traded on this one. Remember, the 5-day average is 8.43 lakhs, and yesterday's volume was 12.9 lakhs. So in a span of 10 minutes, you're seeing a very, very strong breakout. Vineet, since you look deeply into stocks as far as fundamentals are concerned, would you have one or two good points for Tata Chemicals, and anything that you find amiss in this particular stock at the moment, booming at 1025?
So I don't track it very actively, so difficult for me to comment anything on Tata Chemicals.
Okay, Brijesh, would you want to take another view on Tata Chem?
Sir, this today for the very first time it has started moving. I think this momentum will rally throughout the day. We would be from the purely from the technical point of view, 1055 should be the trading bet for another 25 points move should be there. So I think one should hold their position, and any correction, maybe 10-15 points correction during the day should be viewed as a buying opportunity in the Tata Chemicals. This should be one of the outperformer during the day is what I look like.
Okay.
Okay, 1027.90 in FNO, up 4.5% and 1% open interest higher. Sakshi, over to you.
Well, I wanted to take a view of Brijesh on cement stocks. Ambuja Cements, India Cements, both among the top gainers as far as the FNO space is concerned. What would your next targets be on both Ambuja and India Cements? Ambuja right now at 517.5. It's up by 8.5 rupees and 1.6% higher in trade.
Uh, Sakshi, to be very frank, the way the Adani, and again this is Adani stock, so I'm not very
India
comfortable.
Cements? You take
Uh,
India Cements,
no,
then
no,
it's
no,
at
no. I'm
262.
talking of the Ambuja cement.
Okay.
Uh, the way it is placed, if we see from the day side, there has been a selling. I think there is a profit booking, maybe seen during the day. No fresh entries. If somebody is having a position, hold a position, or maybe partial profit booking should be done. Maybe during the day, some profit booking can be seen. So I'll have a cautious view.
Okay, cautious view right there. Well, thanks a lot, Brijesh, for being with us and sharing all these stock. Thanks a lot, Vineet, for being with us and sharing all these ideas. But before you go, just listen into all the Adani Group stocks, and then we'll take a quick break. Adani Green right now 16.5% higher at 1572. We also have Adani Total Gas, which is now at 1020 at 16.5% higher, and Adani Energy Solutions is at 13.2% higher at 1227. Adani Power at 574, currently 6.6% higher. Adani Wilmar at about 5.6% higher at 401. Then we also have Adani Enterprises, which is now ticking higher at 3082. It's 4% higher in trade. Adani Ports from the Nifty is up by 3.6% higher at 1049 odd levels as well. So these are the stocks which are buzzing from the Adani basket. What we'll just do is take a very, very short break, but all our eyes are on the markets. And when we return, more stock ideas with our guests.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi, and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Also with us is our guest Brijesh Ale, and we've been talking all about stock markets, which are at record high levels, 65 points higher right now on the Nifty. You can see 20,917. We were seeing higher levels and slight profit booking being seen at this point in time. Sectorally speaking, barring the auto space, barring the realty space and the Nifty Bank, which is now turning red. There is some profits being taken off right there, ladies and gentlemen. Rest of the sectors still buzzing in action. Oil and gas, metals definitely among the top gainers. Mid caps also firing away. The group stocks, as far as the Nifty is concerned, Adani basket shines through. UPL, BPCL, Asian Paints, Coal India, and Nestle are among the other top gainers right now. Brijesh, UPL, what's your next target over here? It's 592, currently 2% higher for this one.
UPL, I think the point at current price, so that momentum should, I think this momentum can, but for the day specific, I think today's high can be resistance zone. But then gradually over a period of time, 620 should be the highest target for the UPL.
Okay. Another space is the FMCG space. We are again looking at stocks like Nestle India. Of course, it's a high ticket price, 24,905. You also have ITC now at 456 odd levels. Britannia is now up in trade, 49.87. How are you looking at this FMCG basket? Any stock that you like from this space?
Yeah, definitely. There are two stocks, basically ITC and Nestle. So Nestle has given a range breakout over the last couple of days. So definitely Nestle is going to head much higher. Maybe a 25,200 is what I think should be the continuation of the trend. So Nestle would be the buy setup. Maybe in whatever the corrections we see, Nestle can be re-entered. And again, after a very long time, ITC has started moving slight. It may be a slow mover, but then I think ITC can be one of kept on the watch list. At 456 level, it's already given a breakout on like last Friday. So after this, it is moving sideways. Maybe in short term, I think again close to 475, 480 is what maybe during the month. If somebody wants to take a call option, in the money call option is also advisable in ITC. So 475, 480 should be the next target for the ITC.
Right. Sakshi, let's mark the broader market. And as you rightly pointed out, there is a bit of a profit booking happening on Bank Nifty. Remember, it's the weekly expiry for that index. Down 104 points, 46,900 in front of you. Remember, it had opened 200 points higher. So it's a 300-point slip from the top. Okay. Nifty. We've seen a mild test of the first resistance, which was at 20,910. And for the moment it seems to be holding. Remember, the high for today was 20,960 and at the moment 20,915. Let's see how it moves out, but the fact remains that the advance decline ratio is now 35:15 on the Nifty, which is meaning that you have mild profit booking. And on very high beta stocks, ICICI Bank down 1%. Remember, it hit a record high yesterday. HDFC Bank flat 1625, Kotak down 0.2%. They are also getting impacted by the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. What else is down? When you look at the high beta counters, Sakshi, they are the ones which are exhibiting profit booking. Look at KPIT 1459, and at the moment KPIT is down. 1 second, I'll just tell you the percentage fall that's happening. It's down about 1.5% in front of you, and the Nifty seems to be slipping below 20,900. So that is something that is being tested at this point of time. Let's look at the broader gainers apart from the Nifty group in FNO, which will we've discussed Tata Chem, and in great detail we've discussed the Adani twins on the Nifty. Coromandel International and IRCTC. These are for you, Brijesh. A fresh move starting in Coromandel. This is a very, very high beta. This is a very, very high quality stock from the Murugappa group. Record high 1233. Unfortunately, everything is at a record high. Brijesh, would you want to chase momentum here?
Yeah, I think there is some momentum is there, because the way I think we'll ride this momentum, and somewhere close to 1260 is what the continuation of the trend should be there. Somebody wants to take a position, today's low as a stop loss can take that trigger. From 1230, another 30-40 points definitely is on card, so we should ride this.
Okay.
Oh.
Right. Deepak Nitrite, can you look at that, Brijesh? Because you were mentioning, Shail, you were mentioning Coromandel. There's Deepak Nitrite also that's moving up in the FNO action. So just wanted to quickly take Brijesh's view on that.
I think there's a spike in Deepak Nitrite. The morning ticket almost went up to 23.25 and now it's correcting back. But then 22.50 the support zone. So I believe as long as 22.50 levels are held, the momentum should continue. And for example, let's say in the next 1.5 hours, this 22.50 levels are held, then it can again go back to what 23 level from it started correcting. So we need to just keep a watch on it. The immediate trigger would be 22.50. So let's keep wait and watch on that particular stock.
Okay. Brijesh, since Shail was also mentioning IRCTC, let's look at the entire pack of the travel stocks. You know, of course, it's the year end and everybody is traveling. BLS International, Indigo, Ease My Trip, IRCTC. How would you look at this entire basket? Any top favorite stock from this?
IRCTC is one pick. This is again the intraday as well as the next 1 or 2 day story. I think ITC is a very good buy at this level. Today itself, it can see some good amount of buying. 740 is the trading idea for the ITC from the current level. And in near term, we have a view that it should cross 800 on the higher side. So it's intraday as well as the positional trade. ITC can be bought at the current price.
Okay. Sakshi, what we'll do is we'll just mark the broader market. And the reason why I'm saying this is that there's a fairly decent amount of profit being taken away from the table. When we had touched the advance decline ratio in the beginning, it was about 1300 stocks in the green, 500 in the red. Now the number is 1100 in the green and 800 in the red. Four indices are now in the red, among them Nifty Realty, Nifty Bank, of course, that's the one that's undergoing the weekly expiry, the Nifty PSU Banking Index, and the Small Cap Index. So you can see that profit booking is happening in different parts of the market. The Small Cap Index is down, therefore small cap sector. Both PSUs, banks as well as private banks are undergoing some amount of money being taken away from the table simply because the rally has been fantastic. But what is rising and rising fairly decently are the IT stocks. TCS. Look at how the market has turned defensive at this point of time. TCS and ITC, these are all super defensive counters where money moves in after a while, and that's moving. Brijesh, you had mentioned ITC, 458.60, a fairly sharp uptick after a 2-day pause. What are the charts telling you on ITC?
So I was looking at the derivatives data. So there are a lot of call and unwinding which has been seen at 475 strike price. So that is one of the reason why I'm betting on the 475 strike price. This would be for the entire December series. So even in the money call option can be seen, and somebody wants to even a FO trade can look for another 25, 30, not exactly 30 points, maybe 20, 25 points move on from the current level. So it's a very strong, I think that should be the outperform in the FMCG is what I feel.
Okay, let's show the ITC 475 call ending December 28. It's at about 4 rupees. And the reason why Brijesh is punting ahead, we are showing out of the money call for you. At the moment, 475 price is not in front of us, but it's somewhere like 460 in front of us. But a fairly strong traction coming in. Let's see whether we can pull it out. Yes, it's 525 now. This is what Brijesh is suggesting. Where can this go to, Brijesh? 5.25.
There's a possibility 9.10 to the 11. That is the higher side range for the next maybe 3-4 days. So I think that is a trading bet which I can see right now. So that should be the price target somebody wants to take.
Brijesh, let's look at the IT pack. That's where some amount of ticks are coming in. The Nifty IT is right now up by 1%. You're looking at LTI Mindtree as the top gainer on the Nifty as well. It's now up by 2%. We also have Wipro that's ticking higher, 1.5% higher at 410. HCL Technologies at 1332, 1% higher. TCS 0.5% higher at 35.48. Infosys at 14.63, up by 0.7% as well. So it's the IT pack that's now picking up some pace. Tell us your pecking order, any particular favorites, and what are the targets that you're looking at on some of these bellwether companies?
Yeah, actually we had a buy call in LTI Mindtree because it's the daily chart. There's a bullish flag formation, and LTI Mindtree there's a high probability that we will see 5,800 plus on the chart. So that is one bet. And besides this, Tech Mahindra was one space which we were liking. So I think even same like LTI Mindtree, Tech Mahindra should be the outperform. The earlier resistance was close to 1310 level. So I think this momentum can rally towards those points. So this would be the two bets from the IT space.
Okay, another space. Again, we are coming back to the fertilizer action. A lot of stocks are buzzing. You have now Gujarat Narmada Valley Fertilizers in the FNO action, 2% higher in trade. Also have Aarti Industries as buzzing from this space as well. Chambal Fertilizers is 2.5% higher in trade too. So a lot of these chemicals and fertilizer names also ticking up. Any particular name from the names that I read out, or anything that you have spotted?
Yeah, it's only right now I have only a Chambal to be on the on my list because we were bullish on this counter and we were looking for some of the trades. So Chambal at current price I think can be one of the target. So let me get you the exact levels.
Right.
So I think this momentum, to be very frank, the stock has moved up, but then from this level, still close to 340, 345 can be the continuation of this trend. So we'll hold on the position. Fresh entry, I won't advise, but this momentum should rally toward those points.
Okay. Right.
Okay. We'll pay attention to some other options trades, Sakshi, and this is the one on TCS. Let's try and show the 3560 call on TCS. At the moment, it's buzzing fairly strongly, and 3560 is at 67 rupees, fairly costly. But let's look at how it's structured as far as Brijesh is concerned. Brijesh, would you have a view on the 3560 TCS call ending December 28th? At the moment, 69 for you.
So data-wise, there is a long build-up, obviously. So I think there's some strength coming in the 3560. There is a small call writing which I can see at 3600 call strike price. So I think that can be a small hurdle on the way up. The comfort zone would be whenever the this moves above 3600 level. After that, all other strike prices on the call options are seeing a long build-up. So definitely that can be one of the bet. uh, we'll I think for 3560 at current price 69, the risk risk taking opportunity will be slightly cautious, but maybe with this some stop loss 15-20 point stop loss we can take that bet. My comfort zone is once it starts trading about 3600.
Okay. The other call that I'd like to mark is on Infosys. Remember, now this is money moving into defensives after booking profit into high beta, which is they are taking money away from banks and putting it in sectors they haven't moved. So the Nifty IT index at 32,910 is the top performer, up 1.3%. TCS and Infosys are moving. And within Infosys, let's look at the 1480 call. Expiring December 28th. This is at 25 rupees. The chart structure is fairly positive. Brijesh, first to you on the chart structure of Infosys, and then if you could comment on the 1480 call, now at 25 rupees 40 paisa, already up 6.6.
So I'll first comment on this option data. So I think Infosys is quite it's looking from the option 1480 call option. There is a unwinding is going on. So slowly, I think the positions are getting built on the bull side. So whatever you said is right. I think 1480 at 25 strike price can be bought. This looks quite promising, and even at the 1500 strike price, the positions are getting add up. So both 1480 and 1500 strike price is very strong on charts. I think that momentum should be there in this call, and both the strike price I think should perform. And if we specifically if we talk of the
Okay.
charts, yeah, I think somewhere like what we were expecting LTI, Mindtree, and Tech Mahindra, both the even if I do look at the Infosys also, the range breakout is expected. The resistance are three for the day is 1490. So there's fair chances maybe next one or two trading session, IT stocks should be the outperformer, and this along with the LTI, Mindtree, and Tech Mahindra, I think Infosys should also rally. 1500 call option is there is strong additions which is seen in 1500 call option. So I think strike price should be on the watch list.
Okay, before we take a very quick break, I'll again show you 3560 of TCS. Remember, we caught it at 66 rupees. It is now at 76. So that is how you trap momentum in your favor. We are tracking the 1460 on Infosys, the 3560 on TCS, and 475 call on ITC. A quick break, and on the other side of the break, we'll be discussing Tata Power, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. It's one of the best bull markets ever.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi and with me is Shail, and also with us is our guest Brijesh L, who's been picking out a lot of stock ideas in this massive bull run that you're witnessing on your screens. 20,938, 83 points higher on the Nifty right now. What's sticking in the F&O space and in the markets as well is the IT pack right now. The Nifty IT is the top moving sector and 1.6% higher for the Nifty IT. A lot of names we've discussed already from the large cap IT names. I'm now going to discuss some of the mid-cap IT names that are now picking up pace in the F&O space. So, Brijesh, to you, Birla Soft, that's at 663 at 3% higher right now. Apart from this, there's Coforge that's picking up pace, 2.4% higher at this point in time as far as Coforge is concerned. Emphasis, that's also moving in the F&O space, 2.2% higher for this one as well. How would you look at this entire basket of mid-cap IT names right now? Brijesh. Brijesh, are you getting my audio? All right, I think we'll just try and connect back to Brijesh. He's not getting my audio, but Shell TCS is the one that's now running away, 1.5% higher, 35.82.
Yes, and more than 1.5% higher, Sakshi. It's the fun that you are having in options. Look at, we had discussed 35.60 just a while ago. Caught it at 66. It's now at 86. So I again repeat, ladies and gentlemen, you should know how to trap momentum in options. Those who sell options spend a lot of time waiting for the right price to come and face unlimited risk. But in buying options, you have limited risk, and if you are able to catch the momentum at the right point of time, then it's great fun. It's TCS and Infosys that have pushed the Nifty back to an intraday high, 101 points higher, and with them they've taken not only the market higher but also their own calls that we are tracking. 1460, 1470 that we were tracking on Infosys, the call is now at 33, and the ITC option which we had checked at about for 475 is now trading at also the day's high that I can see, somewhere in the vicinity of 4.75 rupees. So that's how, ladies and gentlemen, options are tracked and traded. Coromandel International, the one that Brijesh pointed out, 1239, also at the day's high. I wonder if we have him with us. Brijesh, he's left, no matter. A lot of activity happening on the long side as far as markets are concerned, and Sakshi was very quick to catch the action in mid-cap IT. Let's look at this space. Sakshi, we have 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12 plus 1, 15. 14 IT stocks and 1 quasi-IT MCX in F&O. 14 IT are up. Very, very strong move coming in. Oracle Financial, 5.1% higher in open interest. Birla Soft, 3% higher, 3.4% rise in open interest. Remember, Birla Soft at 659. I think this is again a fresh high for this one, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check this and get back to you. Yes, a fresh high in the cash market for Birla Soft, and a very, very strong move coming in L&T Mindtree. This is trading at 5669. Again, a very, very sharp move coming in. The counter is quoting at its best level since April 22. So that's 12 plus 8, 20-month high for L&T Mindtree. What else have you observed, Sakshi?
Of course, the entire fertilizer space that's continuously moving higher in the Nifty 500 basket. We now have names like Balaji Amines, Gujarat Alkalis, Alkyl Amines also that's moving up apart from Coromandel. So the entire basket is now seeing some action take place. And of course, in the recent run-up when we were talking about the kind of move that we were seeing in the stock market related stocks. So BSE is back in action today, 2.2% higher for this one. Angel One, you already pointed out, 5.5% higher for this one as well. So this entire basket also is seeing some action at this point in time as well. Some of the sugar space stocks like EID Perry, they've started to move up again. So we'll keep an eye out on the chemicals, fertilizer space, the IT space, sugar pack. Paper stocks were mentioned by Vineet. So keep an eye out on all those Orient paper kind of stocks as well. We'll continue to track them. And the travel and tourism stocks like IRCTC, they're also moving up in trade share. Right. Okay. So what we'll do, Shail, is we'll try to wind up now our show at this point in time. Again, we are looking at stunning move on the Nifty, 75 points higher, 20,932 on the Nifty right now. It's the Nifty IT that's definitely taking and giving that support to the market. So you do have stocks like LTI Mindtree, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, HCL Technologies, TCS really supporting the markets. Infosys among the top 10 gainers on the Nifty. Reliance Industries, ladies and gentlemen, 2465 for this one, 1.2% higher on this stock as well. ITC from the FMCG basket, 460 right now, almost 2% higher for this one. Then you also have stocks like Divi's Laboratories coming back into flavor in today's trading space as well. Nestle, Britannia, the other FMCG counters that are also moving up. From the Adani basket, it's Adani Ports that's holding up to 2.5% higher at about 1,039 right now. From the Nifty 500 basket, again you have the Adani stocks like Adani Total Gas 14% higher, Adani Green 14% higher, and Adani Energy Solutions at 10% uptick right now. Adani Power at 5.5%, Adani Wilmar at 4.5% up in trade. So the Adani momentum continues on a second day running. Shail?
Right. So at 9:55, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is we'll take a pause here. 20,934 in front of you. The market is top heavy. We've seen a very sharp rally over the last 7-8 trading sessions. A bit of profit booking happening on Bank Nifty, absolutely in sync with what it should be. Nifty Bank 124 points down, 46,880, and it's a different set of stocks that are moving today, which are taking the baton forward. It's mid cap and large cap IT. A lot of moves coming in large cap insurance, which is LIC, and a mild bout of profit booking happening in the broader market as well. It's all good because you need a second set of investors to come in and take this market further up. The first set of investors have moved the Nifty from 18,800 to 20,900. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2,000 point rally on the Nifty alone from the low of October 26th to the high of 6th December. Sakshi.
Absolutely. What we'll do is we'll now wind down our show, but many thanks viewers for being with us. It's a stunning rally that we've been witnessing at large on the Nifty and the entire markets as well. And we'll continue to track this for you through the trading session. And do stay tuned with us to catch all the action from the world of business and stock markets up until then. Many thanks for being with us.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.